Alright, I'm extremely excited, and I thank anyone who is participating in one of these tests. Well, it's practically all three. They all test different things, but I'm basically going to get into the point, showing you basically if you're hired what you might have to deal with. Um, so I chose the hardest pages because I figured if you can get past that, everything else is a breeze. You don't have to do the whole using a pen or a brush tool and outline everything. That is done for you. The only thing that is left is basically coloring in the fur. And I'm going to show you how to do it because it could take forever just using a brush. I mean, if that's what you're comfortable with, cool, but I don't think anyone wants to take forever to color. So, all right. So this is a basic file. Say if I send you a page, you'll see there's basically a mark that says random dog A. And it repeats in the second panel as random dog A again. That's to make it very simple, as in whatever color you choose for this dog, there's a chart. I'm going to get into that as well. But based on the palette, you can basically freestyle it. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes I'll go in and make an alteration, but it's just to get to the point of it. But random dog A means that it will be the same dog. Most random dogs will always be in black to make this simple, not confusing. I usually try to stick with black bubbles for that, just to keep everything consistent. Don't want to change everything up too many times. And then you'll see that it says random dog C in the last panel. That's to show you that that is an entirely different dog. Then there'll be 5 other random dogs, as you can see in panel 2. It's basically all of these dogs with the gray, the black over them. They're random. So there's a whole entire chart for that. Let's see. As you can see, this is the background dog chart. So basically, this is a background dog chart showing all the colors you can pick from, because I don't really like the dogs to be too standoutish. I feel like it takes away from the main characters too much. Again, I might most likely come in and fix it here and there. It's just to make the process faster for me. So let's get into it. The dogs that you see lined up in a row here, they do not have to all be the same color combinations. They don't. There's like an entire chart right over... There's like an entire chart right over here. Basically, that's just the colors you want to stay in. If you want to do different saddle designs, as long as they're staying simple-ish, then that's cool. The only thing that is not cool is kind of like the whole crazy, majestic Pokemon. I'm not really going for that. I just want to keep it on a certain look. But it is good if you can put spots. That's if you want to. I'm not really picky on it. They're background dogs. No one's really paying too much attention to them. And that's on you. If you make them very designed, again, that's on you at that point. But no one's really going to pay attention to that too much. At least I don't think so. Sometimes I do, but nah. A scar here and there is cool. I'm not too picky on that as well. No neons, no. Because believe it or not, the dogs, the colors do have meaning. So that's why I had to make a color chart. So, okay. Let me try to push this over here. So I'm going to do some background dogs. Oh, almost forgot the most important part. So opening up a file. Basically, I'm going to send you zip files, right? And if you're picked, basically we'll have a Discord where things are just easier to communicate and show stuff. Like, I'm trying to make this as transparent as possible where things aren't confusing. And hopefully if I do this right, it'll be quick. You'll basically unzip it, you'll get a file. I try to make it easy for you because in every single zip file has the character sheets already in there, so you don't have to go searching for, well, I think it's this Rex file, but I'm not sure. Just making it very quick for you. I'm trying not to confuse you too much. So after you open that file, they're always TIFF files. They're just easier that way. After you open that file, basically this is what's going to show up. this entire thing is going to show up. And, you know, some pages can be complicated. Some, by complicated, I mean more than 3 dogs. Or some of them can be as simple as this, where it's just cats, or the cat, like 2 characters repeating on the panels. Or it can be as simple as literally this. You'll still get the $10 for it. I'm not going to go, well, it's less details, so only $3. No, you still get the 10 for it. It's whatever at that point. So some, you know, some pages can be complicated, some can be not. It really does change drastically. So it's like, all right. Then you'll see on the file, right, there's yellow. I will always color code it to make it, again, very transparent and very quick, because again, I want this to be easy for you. The files are, when you want to see notes, you can take it off, by the way. So it's not, because I know that sometimes annoys people, but notes are always in yellow. So if you see a yellow layer, notes. Yellow layer, notes. The green layer, no matter what, is always the layer you're going to color on. So the only layer that really matters is the green layer. It says color, it might not be marked one day, but just know green is always the layer to color on, always. I'll try my best to lock all other layers so that a mistake doesn't happen, but I do this because, again, just trying to make it simple. If anything were to go wrong, you don't have to worry about it messed up the line file. It's just there. That's it. So I'm going to try to do some background dogs. And as you can see, right here, it's telling me background dog. Okay, I understand that's a background dog. And whatever I color this, because it's random dog A, this is also random dog A. So I understand this is the same exact dog. Okay, cool. So I get to go to this color palette, and you know, I don't have to make them exactly like one of these dogs over here, but I get to choose what I want. So let's see. Maybe I want this to be a brown dog. Gotta get rid of this. Get rid of the yellow layer. I'm going to the green layer, clicking it, and I'll choose a regular brush at times. You know, like the round brush. It doesn't have to be precise. It's just making it look clean. Like, okay, you wouldn't take like a textured brush and start coloring. You know what I mean? Like that's just a no. Or like a watercolor. You know, no, you don't want that. You just want something simple. You want to make sure that they're coming out solid. See what I mean? Now, I'm going to show you a quick way to color. This is cool. You know, some people do very well with coloring with their hands, but as I know from experience, all of that back and forth with your wrists can really mess you up after a while. So one thing that I do is, I don't like to color with brush. I like to color with a lasso tool. I don't know if anyone else does it. If you do, maybe this will be easier for you. But you grab the lasso tool. You make sure that you click these double boxes right here, because that's going to make everything quicker. And you just circle it. See? You use your paint tool and you click it. And it's quick. What could have taken you about a minute literally just took you a second. And that's how I usually get my pages done, super fast. And you do the same thing here, you know? You just don't have to care too much about using the brush. Click, that quick. And it's the same thing with if you want to make inner fur designs. So she has like a little, you know how like Lion King has the undercoat? I'm about to show you. See how I'm using the lasso tool and I'm going in? Right? I'm doing it over here again, because it's going to be in one go. What color do I want to choose? I like this light underbase. Again, it's not choosing the exact combinations, but it's still sticking to the palette nonetheless. It works. See? And then I use the lasso tool again. It's just easier. I'm telling you, lasso tools make everything extremely quick. And then if you want to do a gradient, again, everything is extremely quick. Open up here, kind of line tool. Picking colors can be a little complicated for me. when it comes to background dogs. She seems more like a plum over here. Yeah, see, that works. You might have, okay, you know, that's perfect. See how when I clicked once, it still left a little bit? You might have to do it again. And then sometimes it'll still leave this ugly residue. Sometimes you'll have to keep clicking for it to go away. But if you don't want to deal with the constant clicking because you're afraid a little bit of stuff is still going to be left over, something I do is I take the brush tool and I just make that junk like big, ridiculously big, and then I swipe and that's it. See? You know, if I want to use the gradient tool, sometimes I can go in and play a bit with that. See, everybody wins at that point. Yeah, it's all about playing. Then you go in and do the eyes the same and the mouth. So I come here and that's basically it. It's good. So now we've basically gotten the first background dog done, and it's done. That didn't take any time for me. That's about, I'd say about less than 5 minutes, 6. I wasn't counting, okay? I wasn't counting. All right. So we zoom back out and we put the notes back on by pressing the yellow layer. And I'll notice that, should I go to Rex? Yes, I think I'm gonna go to Rex. I'll notice that Rex is highlighted in a different color. I try to make main characters kind of obvious in color, but I'm gonna get to the point. I think it's easier just to show. So again, I send everyone the files, not to make things complicated. There'll already be a Rex file in there. Get rid of the yellow line, zoom into Rex himself, and zoom in once more on his face. Thank God I did the eyeball thing because sometimes I keep alternating Rex's eye color. So he has a bit of blue. And it's okay if the colors don't match the background. Like I said, it just helps me to get done quicker to have someone just color the fur, because I usually go in and color correct. It doesn't take more than a minute for me. So again, lasso tool is my best friend. I'm going to click to create the big fur. However you get his face done, it doesn't matter to me. Again, I'm not trying to step on anyone else's color process. Everyone's got a different one. But me, sometimes I go in sections. Like I'll go, the next color is brown. You don't have to do it exactly like I do. The point is just to get them colored. So if you have a different way that you like to do it and you go faster, look, do your thing. You know, I'm not trying to micromanage you here. So brown, I just know lassos is a lot less stress on my hands personally. And, you know, it keeps the wrist nice and healthy. And everything just flows a little quicker. Versus with the pen that unfortunately can create issues. And I'm basically just following the pattern. You know, it's going to take a little bit of interpretation sometimes to see, oh, well, the fur dips down this way. And then basically just following the reference sheet. Yeah, basically following the reference sheet. I made his eyes brown. Hold on. Yeah, practically it. And then I basically have the eye chart here. So if that makes it easier, you start to zoom in a bit. And of course you'll have a Discord link, so if something doesn't really make any sense to you or you're questioning it, just shoot me a text on there and I most likely will answer. I do. If I don't, it's because I'm stuck, but there's very high chances I do answer. Trust me, I'm trying to make it easier for you guys. Yeah, that's simple. You don't have to put the eye shine on there because I go in on final renders on my own and I basically do it myself because like sometimes the light will be different on the background and I'll do that, so I don't put eye shine on it. And basically the chart also shows the pause, so again, making sure to make everything just as fluid as possible for you guys. Trust me, I took the week. I took the entire week trying to make sure the sheets look good. To not be confusing. I try my best, okay? Don't shoot me. So, I'm only doing it sloppy because I'm just trying to get to the point, like showing you what I'm doing. So, you know, you get it. See, I'm counteracting what I just said because now I'm using the brush, but sometimes you can if you feel more comfortable. I'm just doing it because with the pause, I seem to like... Yeah. But it's on you. You do what you feel feel more comfortable with. It's on you. It's you. Yeah, I think that's about it. Okay. So, of course, Rex would be over here too. But I'm going to also get into a third thing. Sometimes there will be items that are around the characters, and I know there's not a reference sheet for that. This is a good example right here. This file I didn't prepare yet, so you're not going to see Rex or names that tell you who is who. I'm still fixing those. But I know this is Isana. So say if we were already coloring Isana. This is not the real color. I'm just trying to get this out the way to show you what I'm talking about. Basically, I think... It's most likely going to be neon green. There's a reason for this because, okay, let me do this real quick so I can explain, because it doesn't make sense if I just say it. I have to show it. So say if I have a whole bunch of designs. Let's see, she's a tiger. Ignore that. Just ignore that embarrassing thing I did. Okay, perfect. If we do neon green, right? Because again, I'm going to go in myself and paint them. This is just to make it easier. Right? I want to be able to... Oh, that's a texture brush. I got to change that. That's not good. I want to be able to come back and select it. Because sometimes they're on the character. See? And it's much easier for me to like just come back in and start coloring that. See? It only acts up because, you know, I didn't use the right brush. But basically, and that's what I mean by texture brushes can be an issue because now look. Now I have these little specks of itty bitty neon green in there. But that's just because I used the wrong brush. I had to use a flat, you know, it's just a straightforward, strong, solid brush. In fact, you know what? I might just add the brush into the RAR file so it's easier because I know that can be confusing too. It's like flat brush. What are you talking about? Flat brush. Because I made an extremely crisp and clean brush. You know what? Yeah. Actually, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to just send some brushes. But that's basically what I mean. You know, if they're background things, if they're background elements, you know, just make sure it's a neon green. Like just... you know, straight to the point. You don't gotta do anything. You don't have to interpret colors. It's just straight to the point. Let's see if I can show another example. Random Dog C is another good example right here. He has the paw, right? You might be coloring in, let's see, background dogs, go to my palette. You might be coloring in Random Dog C. Right? And you're like, oh, things are in the way. No. Right? You coloring him in, you're like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do with that? Right? And you got a nice design going. Right? There's just a problem. There's like a whole bunch of stuff in the way, like the rings. This is what I mean by you don't have to do anything besides go in and basically color it neon green. Sometimes you could just use the wand tool and go in if it's easier that way. Again, it's all about what makes you comfortable and what's quicker for you. I suggest the lasso because we're artists and it would really suck for our babies to get carpal tunnel. Like, trust me, I had that injury. It was not fun. I learned new ways to draw. Lasso tool just creates less stress. It's quicker. Your art is faster. You can do so much more. But do you? So let's see. Gonna grab a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I'm going to color it going back to the green layer. I almost made a mistake and painted on the wrong layer, but make sure it's always the green layer. You can always fix it if it's on the green layer. Oops, see, you made a mistake. Oh, if you hold down alternate, it does subtraction to your lasso tool, so instead of doing it all over again, you subtract. So, see? Then when I want to go back in later, I just got to select that. Green. And it's all easy for me to just go in and start coloring that in. See? And there's not the neon. See? It's just easier. Hopefully, maybe working with me will show you a few more things. I hope so. But yeah, it would really be helping me out. It really would. I'm excited. I've never really worked with anyone on Inverted Fangs, only other stuff. This is new to me. Thank God. Everyone on Patreon is helping me out. Thank God, because I would not have been able to do this at all. I can only afford 2 people right now for 10 pages. There are a lot of pages. Trust me, I'm already creating the files. I think I have 50 pages left on the book. And if this goes well, that book 2 might literally be out way quicker. And I can start on book 3. Like, everything is just rolling and I'm excited about it. And I would like to hire way more than 2 people. So, you know, that's about it. So what happens is there's a link in the bottom of the video in the description. And it's going to say test 1. It's going to say test. I skipped test A because I'm doing a test A right now. It's going to say test B, test C, and test D. And you just have to click the links and download all 3 of them. Each of these zip files already have everything you need, including the character sheets. And you do your thing. Email it to me, invertedfangsbook@gmail.com. I'll look at them. I create a list of people. It's backup. You know, whoever is more available. Like, say if I have 50 pages, you know, one person can't handle this page or like the other 10 pages, I'll send it to somebody else. It's just basically making it easier. So for 10 pages, $100. I do Cash App, but it's negotiable. Just tell me if that doesn't work for you. I'm not doing PayPal for this time. PayPal is seriously tripping with some of the stuff that they're doing right now. Unfortunately, if you have another method that you want me to pay you through, tell me. Again, I'm trying to learn how to do this. Thank you so much. If the comment section is turned off, again, it's not me. I'm trying to turn them on, but I don't know what's going on. Every time I talk in the video, it seems like they turn off the comment section. I don't know what that is. But go to I'll put a link in there as well. Go to my Instagram. My Instagram is where I am most active. Go to my Instagram and just shoot me a DM. And I'll most likely answer you. It's a high chance. I usually sleep. I'm not always on Instagram. I don't stay on that thing. But I do respond, trust me. But thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for helping me out. Whoever takes it, thank you so much. And yes, you do get credited. Thank you.